So what does a head coach learn on day one about his team when it comes to spring camp? What were you looking to learn today?
For me, it's two things. Number one, you want a team that is enthusiastic and wants to be here and has good energy, right? Because if you're not excited day one in spring, the chances of getting better over 15 days, and our guys clearly wanted to be here. I think you saw good emotion, good energy. Our guys like football here, and that's been one of our big keys. And I think the other thing with spring is you're trying to develop successful habits. Whether it be ball security, ball disruption, guys that are detail oriented, the guys that can get lined up and do, what we need them to do and the way we ask them to do it, and to do that consistently. And it's not just one practice. I think a lot of people can sustain that for one practice. The challenge is doing it for 15 practices. And as I told the team the other day, if you can't do this for 5 weeks and 15 practices, the odds that you're going to be able to do it for 17 straight weeks once you start camp to the end of the season is probably really small. So, if you can do it for 5 weeks and 15 practices, you give us hope that you're going to be able to sustain it during the season.
Last year you talked about the importance of having 3 full units that could go to get the reps and get them all spread out. Do you feel like you've got that kind of depth in the spring?
Defensive tackle, we're thin. That's the one position that, right now we're able to go 3 groups, but that's a position that if we get banged up at all, it's gonna stretch us a little bit. So we'll do 3 groups as long as we can. I think getting the freshmen, especially those mid-year guys, reps is really important, and you'd like to be able to get them team reps, not just Skelly reps or special teams reps. So you go a day at a time, and today we got through it with 3 groups, and hopefully we'll be able to do that on Saturday.
Do you have 6 linebackers you can use?
Oh yeah, yep. That's where the mid-year guys have really helped. Now we've moved Trey Bowl to linebacker. Aiden Hall's a mid-year guy. Jacob Roberts. You have Quincy. You have Zach Ransom. You have Chase Jones. So we're being a 2 inside linebacker defense. You just need 6, and then you got Mark Balbus and Max Miller. So you really got 8 guys. So we're in good shape there.
Coach, each roster is different, each spring is different. What's the biggest difference you think coming into this spring for you?
Well, it's just the amount of starters we need to replace. This is the fewest amount of starters we've had coming back since 2019. But I think we got talented players, and because of the COVID year, we had so many 6th and 7th year guys. It's not like the guys that are trying to win jobs have just gotten here. So a lot of guys are going to their 3rd or 4th year, and now they're competing to be a starter. So I don't think we'll be less talented. I don't think we're going to be necessarily younger. We're just not going to be as experienced. And you hope these guys that have stayed here 2, 3, 4 years, this is why they've stayed. This is their opportunity. And sometimes when a guy plays for the first time, you get their best football just because they're so excited that they finally get to play. Once you've started 30, 40 games, you kind of take it for granted that you're the starter. And so I think in a lot of those positions, like the O-line, Spencer Clapp's been here 7 years. Here's his first chance to start. He's excited. You have guys like Matt Gulbin and George Sell and Eric Russell and Nick Sharp that have been here for 2, 3 years. Luke Pettibone is going into his 4th year. This is why they came here. This is their opportunity, and they're going to make the most of it.
What's the difference in a Mitch Griffiths run offense versus a Sam Hartman run offense?
The offense is our offense. Everybody has a little bit of a different skill set. I think with Mitch, he's not as big, but I think there's a little bit more mobility there. And we might be able to do some different things with him in terms of moving the pocket. Sam became a very accurate and an exceptional pocket quarterback for us. But when we had Jamie, or John Wolford, we moved things a little bit. So we'll tweak it and adjust it for Mitch. Again, we're very confident with him, but every quarterback skill set is a little bit different. And you always tweak the offense in ways to try to take advantage of that. So it's just different. It's not necessarily better or worse. It's just a different skill set.
What about in terms of tone and temperament and that leadership quality that you look for in a quarterback? How would you describe Mitch's?
I mean, I think Mitch has all the intangibles, but sometimes as a quarterback, you first have to establish yourself before you can start influencing others, and he influences others already. I mean, he's done that the last 2 or 3 years. He's a high character guy, and he's got a great work ethic, and he's a great teammate. But even, Sam's progression and John Wolford's they first had to establish themselves that they were playing at a high level. And then once you do that, your ability to affect others becomes, I don't want to say more important, but you have a better basis and ground to do that from. And again, Mitch already does those things, but the better he plays, I think the more influential he'll be with his teammates.
At quarterback, it seems like Santino Mariucci, I'm not even sure how to pronounce his last name right. He's been all over the field, and now he's back at quarterback. What can you say about his journey?
It's funny. I think he probably appreciates the role of a quarterback more now that he left the position. Now he came back to it. He's become a lot more coachable, a lot more intentional. There's a reason we recruit him as a quarterback. He's a very good athlete, and he's got a strong arm. And when he first got here, the maturity level and the processing and all that stuff, I don't know if he took it as seriously as he needed to, and that's where he kind of got caught from behind. And now that the quarterback room has changed and we're given that opportunity again, he's really doing a nice job. He's really grown up. He's a lot more focused. Just when a rep's going on and he's not in, he's listening to all the coaching points going on. And, when he was first there, he probably only listened when he was in. So again, it's like a lot of our players, right? They don't come here ready-made. Each of them have to grow in different ways. He has physical ability. It's just neat to see his maturity. And again, it's not just him. We have a lot of guys that have grown up in their second, third, or fourth year. Obviously, at the quarterback position, it gets really exaggerated.
How nice was it to see Kalen Carson flying all over the field, and are you going to put him in bubble wrap for the next 8 months?
No, he's got to play football. He just, the last 2 years, Kalen's missed so much football that even though he's going into his fourth year, it's not like this is a player that has 2,000 reps. He missed the whole second half of the season in 21, and he missed 8 games last year in 22. So he needs to play football. That's, you become a better piano player by playing the piano. You get, better at playing chess by playing chess, and you get better at playing football by playing football. So he needs to play. And Kalen has proven that he can be a high-level player when he's healthy, and we need a big spring from him. And I think if he can stay healthy for 15 practices and get a lot of reps, we'll feel even better about what he's going to be able to give us next year.
That's good.